you can do it, I'll do it.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, do it, since you know. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome all of you, but especially Shakur. So, inshallah, we're going to continue, inshallah, our study of the meaning of Bismillah. So, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي اشدد به أزري وأشركه في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. Who's going to read? No one volunteering? Okay. We have the text. So, we can read from the beginning of the first word.
Okay.
The section we started the first one, although we studied only one sentence, but we can continue, inshallah.
Okay. All right, so we're continuing on with the first word. Bismillah. In the name of God is the start of all things good. We too shall start with it. Know, O my soul, just as this blessed phrase is a mark of Islam, so too it is constantly recited by all beings through their tongues of disposition. If you want to know what an inexhaustible strength, what an unending source of bounty is Bismillah, listen to the following story, which is in the form of a comparison. It goes like this.
I think we have to study the paragraph and then go. Who doesn't have it? Contribute. Does everybody have here? Thank you. Okay. So we went over not only superficially, but in depth. What does it start of all things good? Especially why good? Why not bad? Because the bad things don't start with Bismillah or in the name of God. Or what does it mean? It's a mystery, actually. Not a mystery. For the public, it is a mystery. But last week, we understood that it is not a mystery because of the definition of good or evil. So we discussed on it. It is not time now that we already started late. There is no time to go over it. So if anybody is interested in, they can go and listen to last week's recordings. So we said, "Oh my soul," from "Oh my soul" onwards. What attracted your attention in this sentence? Is one. I think it's two. There are two sentences here. So what attracted your attention here in these two sentences? So attracted your attention. So whether in the form of a question or comment or this is interesting. Let's talk about it. Anything you want to talk?
Sure. The tongue of disposition.
You can, excuse me, you can take the bag away, so lean against it comfortably with laughing that you are torturing yourself. That's it. I told you this. Okay. No, leave it as it is. So we were late by seconds. Okay, doesn't matter. Take them away. That's it. Oh, sit comfortably. Okay, let's go back. So what attracted your attention, everybody here?
tongue of disposition, right?
Mark of Islam.
Mark of Islam, let me mark that one, and tongues of disposition, all right? What else?
Everything is residing.
What is everything? Exact word.
All beings.
All beings,
by all.
all right.
Constant.
Sorry?
Constantly.
Yeah, what does constantly mean? Good questions. All of them are interesting. Anyone? Any more? Okay. So, mark of Islam, the term mark of Islam, which was brought up first, is too early to discuss today. At this stage, it is too early. We can discuss what does it mean, mark of Islam. Why the author uses this expression, and we will study this. I was intending to have a special section, short section on why form of a comparison. That is interesting to understand the intention of the author, right? So together with this one, mark of Islam and form of a comparison, right? And of course, the other one was tongue of disposition. So, do we all understand what really tongue of disposition means? Really? Not English language. We understand tongue, we understand disposition. But why the problem is brought up here with this explanation, not the problem, brought up here with this phrase, okay? Anyone? Any comment?
More or less, I would say that like everything speaks to us. Everything in any shape, form, size, it's speaking.
Tongue of disposition means you are saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, continue.
Tongue of disposition means that everything that we interact with in creation, be it a tree, a little piece of brownie, paper, little infant, a dog.
Shakur.
Shakur,
Shakur,
yeah. We're talking
the
about
best
you,
example, unspoiled
right?
example.
Yeah, so like baby Shakur speaking to us.
Yeah.
It's got a tongue of disposition.
So through the tongue of disposition,
right.
That's it. Through what? The way
he expresses himself out.
Or
like,
maybe he does not speak. For example, paper does not speak.
Yeah.
So how does it express itself?
Well, through what he's doing right now,
the
hands, gestures, picking up the pen, wah when he needs something, whining,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
like,
So
yeah, exactly.
commenting. He's just commenting.
They're coming into existence.
Sorry?
They're coming into existence.
No, that's a problematic language. You know why? But there is extra who was sacrificing. Okay. So there's a problematic language because we, in order to understand they are coming into existence, we have to go through many stages in order to see how they are coming into existence. For example, for great majority of the population of the world, coming into existence means here is the universe. I haven't seen it, how it came into existence, and also maybe a tree is growing, a baby is growing. I can see how they are coming into existence. Otherwise, the rest of the universe, all of them, is taking for granted that these things exist by themselves. So it needs to be discussed separately. Coming into existence, maybe we can discuss this within the context of this class. Now we are there, but not, it will be jumping. Saying that How they are coming into existence, I don't know. I just came to this world and I found them existing. That's it. So, but there is even more practical way, a more practical way to understand this constantly. Or sorry, we are not studying constant. The tongues of this disposition. It's very easy. The way they have all the qualities right now, and of course, I have to question rather than they are physically coming into existence at the beginning of their existence. No, because I don't see anything that didn't exist but coming into existence just as if jumping out of nothing and appearing to be out there. I never seen anything like that. Everything is gradually changing, for example. So every change is a question how they change. Isn't it? Question then how do they change? Do they change themselves? And their disposition, it means their qualities that they dispose, not expose. There's expose. And then we see their qualities. And I can question these qualities are continuously changing and how they came into existence. It's okay. The other one is okay. This others, no. They are shaky. So slowly, it's just to play. So disposition means there. If my understanding, you may understand it in another way. You are free. My understanding, the characteristics, the qualities that I see on them. So these characteristics, the qualities, even shape, hardness, softness, or whatever I say, color, whatever the qualities they have. So burning, not burning, moving, light, heavy, whatever the quality, work. The air is different from stone. A stone is different from a plant. A plant is different from shakur, a human being. But they are all different. They have different characteristics that I can see right now. So I can easily question what can be the source of existence of these qualities that the objects have. I can question this. What can be the source of existence of the qualities that the things expose to us? Okay. Yeah. People want a house with a big garden and lots of birds singing. Here is the bird hopping out. Yeah, we are not disturbed. Don't worry.
Sorry, before going to look the source of this characteristic, are there any other steps that you should go first, then you will come to conclusion, then you will look the source?
Of course, you must have something in mind, such as, can you give us, for example, any other characteristics? That
No, I don't have in my mind something. I just thought because it's like it's hard to go to the source to look for the source.
No, to look for the source of the characteristics that they constantly, that's what became constant now, constantly appearing in a changed form. Right? Because it is hard for human mind to question how they exist by themselves, or how they exist at the beginning. People usually, the way we are treating with the objects around us. For example, I found air. I found, I don't know, a tree, a baby, and it exists like this. Although it is changing continuously, its characteristics also, qualities also change. But every time, especially on the living beings, but even non-living beings, do they change long? Yeah, but it's a very extremely so slow process that we cannot observe, we cannot really see it, experience it. But if we wait for a while, we see that the things are getting old, for example. Yeah. So scientific research shows that, for example, the Earth was different something billion years ago. Oh, if it was billion, I don't know. How did they give the date to it for the for the Earth coming into existence as a separate planet? It is changing since then. They say it used to be magma form, and it is magma is inside, but outside got cold and so dry, so changing. So now I can see it from the living beings that it's constantly changing. So how can I explain this change of the characteristics of the objects I am experiencing, I am observing, I am interacting with? I can question this. What can be the source of those people who attend our class, almost for a long time, they will understand that, especially me, emphasize on the word change rather than how first they came into existence at first. Even we never question or bring into the subject discussion how the things came into existence at first, which is mostly out of our reach, practically. But intellectually, we may reason, seeing that, look, it is changing, the speed of change is this by time. So it means the first time the universe came into existence is such and such billion years ago. It's not a surprise because you see the change, speed of change. It's very easy. So what you have to find out, you have to work on it, and then multiply the speed of change, multiply with something, and then you come up 14 billion years ago, it was in the form of an atom, or really, they say, I don't know, smaller than atom, because they cannot identify this object because they have experience, which is beyond my capacity. I'm not a scientist at all, I don't know, but what I am experiencing change. That's why we use change and the source of existence of change. Right? As things change, it means how do I know that they change? Who will tell me? How do I know that they change?
You see the I mean, it's very obvious. You see the difference every moment.
Their
of things.
qualities are changing.
Mm.
So, rather than the source of existence of the object, we have to question source of existence of the qualities that the objects have that I am experiencing right now. Do you understand? Does it make sense? So that is why people, certain kind of people who doesn't want to think about the source of existence, they say, I'm not interested in that source of existence, so I'm interested in what? How the things are changing, developing, so that I have to find out the rules, principles of changing, and manipulate it, use it, and exploit it. It means employ it to my benefit. That's what is happening nowadays. And it has been for centuries in this way. How can we make most of this universe in order to have more comfortable life? They say. I question it whether it is a more comfortable life or not. That's arguable matter. But that's what they say. We are using it, and here are the products, technology. Made your life, according to them, much easier, according to me, more difficult. What depends on your understanding of easy or difficult. Now, that's why they don't want to see the source of existence of the characteristics, change of characteristics. They can come up with a date, how the universe is formed, when it was approximately. They can give this date, but these are no good for me. I don't say that they shouldn't work on it, no, because I'm not experienced in the beginning, so how can I? But I cannot really speculate about it or contemplate about it. But what I am experiencing right now, the characteristics of the objects, they change, a new character is assumed. For example, I don't know, maybe
The character of
5 months,
1 year.
1 year, 1 year ago, or yeah, Shakur was just like I don't know, a tenth of her, or a tenth of it. Yeah. But it is changing though. It couldn't. The one he's moving around that time, he wouldn't be able to do. So, mashallah, 1 year. Okay, but lots of change every day. Mothers really see that, especially the character of the baby is changing daily. Do you see that? Every day he is assuming a new character. So, have you questioned how one character changed into another character? That is the question. How come then the character changed? What is the factor? What is the cause, real cause of existence of a new character? So, biologically, they argue that the DNA structure, more or less what they say, I think, or what is happening in the cell, well, let's put it in a very layman language, which is my language. I don't know the technical words, and I don't bother about the technical words. It doesn't mean anything for me, but even if it does, the technical words may not be helpful because it doesn't help me understand how the change is taking place. So they say what is happening in the cell is causing the change. So main question is, can the material structure or whatever the structure of the cell be consciously, knowingly, deliberately changing the character of Shakur. Can they be the source of existence of, for example, ability to speak, ability to act, characters, yeah, ability to think. For example, if you shout at him, I think he will cry. Yeah? Why? And if he is hungry, if you feed him, he will be happy and smiling face. How? Smiling face? What is the connection between face expression with a smile? So that communicating. So when he cries, do you have the same safe expression when he cries as he smiles? So the characters are communicating with physical experiences, and physical experience also is communicating with the other people. How do cells know that he will be communicating with other people? So arranged accordingly and almost in the same way, but not exactly, but similar way, all human beings go through, but not exactly. Why? Who is making this distinction? What is making this distinction? It is not a standard manufacturing that human beings make a plant and produce something. They produce the same time. Yeah, that's what we are used to. But in the universe, new things are coming into existence, but never standard. Slight, isn't it? What is the cause? Well, if one says DNA structure, but what is the cause of existence of this structure of DNA? It is a characteristic. Where did they get it? But ultimately, their material component parts, can they be the source of existence of the qualities we observe on the beings, the material components of the body of anything? What do you think? An answer. Can they be? Any? No?
Something to think about. And they can't actually.
Yeah. I think my concern is, rather than arguing certain theories which most of them are established on pre-existing concepts without questioning. So if you start giving a name to a theory and question this theory with this name, what you do, you assume that the basis of the theory is commonly accepted between you and the one who proposes the theory to you. Do you, for example, if I say, it's a very common example, evolution, it has its own pre-accepted values. Can it happen? Can it not happen? Secondary subject. So we shouldn't say evolution. We shouldn't say materialists or I don't know, ideologists or whatever you call them, spiritualists. No name. Just say, can any matter be the source of existence of a character of a being? Simple. Yeah? What do you think? Character of a being.
Well, I think
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah.
I'm inclined to say no, but I think someone could say the being doesn't have some sort of character. We impose that, or it's emergent. And also the language of giving existence is very peculiar. So I think a lot of the times when I talk to people, they don't think of existence as being given, but rather as a result of conditions. And doesn't necessarily need to be deliberate or conscious. And it's kind of like a byproduct or inevitable result of material things. So there's a lot of like concessions we make before we get to that.
But isn't that the question now, inevitable result of the material thing? Can it be? For example, can I say that you are different from the door? There's no door, but let's say door. Okay, curtain. So sitting in front of the curtain. Is it my perception, or is it really what two objects are different from each other? Does it is it the result of my perception, or can this be a reality? You are different from the curtain.
Yeah, I'm different.
Yeah, okay. So we can eliminate. We are not saying that, for example, the curtain is more valuable than, okay, somebody, I don't want to use the name, it's a common public place. So this person, or we are not saying that this is more valuable than the other, this is cheaper, this is more beautiful, this is, but to describe something according to my judgment. But am I not experiencing different objects in this world without qualifying them? This is different. Yes?
Sure.
Moon is different from the earth. It is another object. So light is different from the storm. It's, air is different from, I don't know, wood. Correct? Am I right? So it is not subjective to say that I see different objects. Is there anybody, possibly 6 billion people, do you give any chance that there will be one out of 6 billion? They will say everything is the same, but the difference is only my perception. Do you think? Isn't that human reality? Even it is not the case. I am a person, I have to judge according to my perception. There are different objects. That's it. How can I explain this for myself? I may be deluding myself. Let it be so. Yeah? But I am a human being. My human qualities say I have to question what this difference makes sense. So, make possible. What made this difference make possible? My language is perfect. So you understand what was the agent? Different things. So difference means different characteristics, different qualities. You don't have to qualify the qualities, but there are differences. And yourself in 10 years, maybe 10 years, when I first saw you in Washington, what was it? Maybe 10 years? 10 years, yeah, maybe. So you were different. Definitely. That is me. Even in reality, you are not different, but for me it is different. So I am the person who questions this. That's my reality. I have to get an answer because this question pops up, pops up, pops up. What is the agent? What is the agent? What is the cause? And I have to answer because that's myself. That's my quality. I cannot deny my quality, saying that no, my questioning, my observations don't exist. Just how do you say, imagine that I exist. I cannot say to myself, even if I say I imagine that I exist, it means that imagination with me exists together. So I cannot run away from it. So these people, that some people argue in this way, as you said, some people argue in this way, saying that that is your perception. But I'm not saying this is beautiful, this is not beautiful. So beauty may depend on my cultural background. No, I'm saying difference. That's it. No one in the world treats the objects as they are not different from each other. Yeah, rather than going to and eating something and buying something, some food, so it doesn't matter really. They are just subjective acceptances. So I may eat rather than what I see as bread or food, I can eat soil, for example. No one says this. Eh? It means definitely difference exists. So we are talking about the source of existence of the difference that I'm experiencing. So can I attribute this to the component parts of the matter that I see? For example, Shakur is here. So can I say that the difference is different qualities are caused to exist, come into existence by it is particles. Can the particle be a source of existence of quality? So these are the matters that we have to take into consideration. Terms of disposition, yeah, the way they appear to us, and constantly announces who all beings. Is there any being in the world which is not subject to change? Okay, it means change means I can see the change. It means a difference in qualities. If there was no difference in qualities, I would observe no change. So definitely no way out. This is the fundamental question for me. So this sentence says, in the name of God. God, by definition, is taken for granted here at this stage. It means there must be a source of existence rather than the matter itself. Source of existence of everything. What is that? I don't know. I'm investigating. I'm investigating. What can it be? So everything says, I came into existence, especially I observed the qualities, not the first time. No, the qualities I see right now. The qualities I experience right now. So I can see these qualities, and I have to ask whether anything within this universe can be the source of existence of these qualities. But of course, we can extend the word qualities. For example, For example, existence is a quality. Shape is a quality. Start from there, right? Being a human is a quality. Human feelings are qualities. That human biological body, qualities. Meta atom, qualities. Electron, qualities. Molecules, different qualities. You can question the atoms or electrons, atoms, but when it comes to the level of existence of molecule, it is another quality. It's what the language you said the language, right? I'm sorry, it is rude to say you said, but I don't. I am trying deliberately to avoid using the names. Otherwise, when we close the public, uh, uh, broadcasting, we can speak with names. So you said, what was the language? Yes, exactly. Language is extremely important. But very existence of language and the vocabulary within the language is a sign of what? Different quality. Because every quality needs to be described with another word. If I am speaking with different words, vocabulary, it means I am experiencing different qualities so that I am putting a label on them to make the distinction between, for example, the water there and shakur. So I call it water, I call it shakur because I see different qualities. That's obvious for me. If someone says, no, I don't see water and shakur are the same, that's up to him. Everybody can make any language they want. So not only differences of languages, that is a cultural, a kind of anthropological event. So, but the vocabulary within every language, may are large or narrow, doesn't matter. Narrow means they observe, they experience, they are aware of less qualities of the objects. Or large vocabulary means the people are reasoning more and finding out and realizing, becoming aware of more qualities of the things. So they use different names in order to mark the difference of this particular quality from the others. So language itself demonstrates that definitely different qualities exist. Because any language has more than one vocabulary. Otherwise, we would say for everything, thing. This thing, this thing, this thing, this thing. That's it, no more. No more word. It's impossible. Yeah, it's not observed worldwide, history-wide. Okay. So when we concentrate on the constant change, we see that the source of existence of anything within the universe, in any form, cannot be the source of cannot be any part of this universe. Logical, but we should understand that it is not experiential. You can experience it, but you come to this conclusion logically. Why is it important to emphasize, to use the word logically? They say, now, if you are talking about God, the religious people say, about God, belief in God is not only logical. I say, shut up, I am fed up with you. So you know why? That's my conviction. You know why? If you cannot come up with a logical conclusion, how can you talk about the source of existence of anything? You cannot see it here, but definitely logic says there must be a source. That's why the Quran teaches as well. That is just side note. Side note. Quran, not only Quran, scriptures teach there is nothing which has quality of deity in this world. It means source of existence. So there must be something. There must be something which is called it. But because there is no other way, because I am not seeing it so that I will describe it. Right? I cannot describe it. But logical conclusion. That's why without logical conclusion, there should be no claim of belief. Basis. But go into the details, of course, human beings work together, but all his qualities. But at the same time, another side note, everybody knows, especially neurologists know, practically within their own experiences, no human being in the world makes any statement, comes to a conclusion through logic without having feelings, the influence of the feelings behind it, before it. That is very interesting. If you study and speak to serious neurologists, they will tell you any logical activity which is biologically controlled by brain, or not controlled, excuse me, physical means to me, physical means, tools of human thought. Now, it works under the influence of human feelings. It means if it is human, even animals act of instinctive act. So every animal acts in a certain way, right? So they are different from the others, and they are somehow limited as compared to human beings, human actions. They have emotional relationship as well behind their actions, according to their capacity. We don't know which kind of capacity they have, but we see the outcome of it. But I know which kind of capacity I have. So when I come to a logical conclusion, it doesn't mean that I have no feelings behind and before it. So according to my feelings, my logic is directed. And I will be convinced with the logical conclusion together with my feelings. Do you understand? But why it is a big problem among the people? Because they understood that as soon as you start speaking about it, about he, something not of the nature of the universe, it means that it's God. Yeah. If it is God, religion. If it is religion, well, you have to follow the religious rules. Shortcut. So when you follow the religious rules, you cannot use your logic because it is just requirements of the religious responsibilities. Do you understand? Jumping, irrelevant relationship at all. Why did you bring the religion here now? I say there must be a creator, not within the universe, not of the nature of the universe. There must be a creator, and I have to understand what is going on in this world in order to understand the qualities of the creator. What do you mean by religion? It means they want to reduce this belief in God to institutionalized religious forms in any tradition, regardless. Too early in our stages of reasoning. So we cannot say that human logic works definitely independently from human feelings. Yeah, but some people, of course, use a generalized language saying that, for example, loving a color is emotional, not logical. Oh, I understand. Yeah, maybe more so. Yeah, more so. So its emotions also shaped by somebody's cultural background. Yeah, accustomed way. So if you go to a certain country, you know that those people really mostly prefer the same color. If you go to, they see heavy green, dark green, red, and flowery Indonesians, women, if you see everywhere is clothes and everything flowering. Okay, it is not the problem. But the problem is logic cannot act independently from the emotions. So when I say there must be a creator, it means this is my human conclusion, but logically confirmed. Feeling must agree. If my feeling rejects it, my logic cannot accept it, because it is directly related to, I am not talking about which color you like. I am talking about what can be the source of existence of these changes of the qualities that I am constantly experiencing in this world. So we have to put the problem and the answer on the right base. If the base that we are using is not really, it's a kind of firmly established for ourselves, we don't have to convince anybody. So for ourselves, I'm sure this is the case. I'm convinced within myself. I'm satisfied with it, with no prejudice or bias, acceptance. Nothing to do with institutionalized religion at all. This is me as a human being.
I was just wondering, so it makes sense to me that I have to check whether the logical conclusion I reach, whether my feelings accept it or not, whether there's an alignment with it, with the expectations of it.
Exactly.
That makes sense to me. However, I wasn't sure what you meant when you said that my feelings direct my logical reasoning.
No. Did I say this? Direct?
Yes, the word direct.
No. But if I said it, I'm sorry, it was
we
wrong.
Can check later.
No. Wrong. I apologize for it. It is wrong. It's not no. But they exist beyond logic, prior to logic. It means they exist there. No, not beyond, behind is a motive.
The influence.
As like an intuition, almost.
No. This is what you are. Whatever, don't name it. Whatever you are,
But what
you are saying.
What does it mean for them to exist? Because it seems like they form this sort of base ground upon which then logical reasoning takes off.
No, as you said, they are aligned together. Mm-hmm. So none of them, neither logic, reasoning, nor feelings act independently. So they work alongside with each other. So without feelings, if someone didn't have any feelings, as far as human beings are concerned, the other creatures we don't know. So as far as human beings are concerned, without feelings, We cannot have logical activity. Without logical activity, we cannot justify the feelings.
Can we have an example to make it more concrete? Like
For example.
how do these feelings act in conjunction with the logical reasoning?
So logical conclusion. Give me a logical conclusion. For example, there must any part of this universe cannot be the source of existence of any part of the same universe.
Right.
So they cannot be cause of existence of each other
Mhm.
because they have no quality to cause anything to come into existence, right?
Yes.
Now, this is my logical conclusion, but this logical conclusion, with this logical conclusion, I am happy.
But that happiness, that contentment with, or that satisfaction,
Yeah.
that alignment with the human feeling
Exactly.
happens after I reach the conclusion. I check it to see if it sits well with my human feelings as well. What I'm not understanding is how it's
Together
at the
Yeah.
simultaneously.
No. Would you like to say something? No. You understand? Did we get the question rightly? So you go ahead. You go ahead. You want to say something? Yeah.
Just like with the baby, everybody kind of feels something. Like they're watching him, they're smiling. You're feeling like the feeling is almost inevitable. We're just not aware. And then, mentally you say, oh, how does he do? Like, how does he do? The thought comes, like, how does he do that? Or how does he know that? Or
So the new qualities, how the new qualities are coming into existence. So when I say this conclusion, it happens together with my feelings, because if it contradicted my feelings, this logical conclusion, I wouldn't process it. I wouldn't go ahead with my process of this logical. So they act together.
But that's once you reach a conclusion. You're
Um,
saying when you reach the conclusion, it has to go together with the feeling. I'm talking about the process
No, okay.
before you
Every
reach a
step.
conclusion.
I think I understood. Every step is taking place while I am reaching, or before I reach the conclusion. Every step has the same quality, same process, same type of process. For example, I said, for example, Shakur is changing every day, developing a new habit. Yeah? Is it right? Almost every day new things are coming. So, look, is it only logical without the influence of or working together with my feelings? That I'm experiencing, look, with my eyes, with my interest in him, and also why do I think about the source of existence of his change? So together, I want it. But this one thing is not pure logic. It is together with human curiosity. That's what I am. They are acting together. I cannot separate it. But generally speaking, now, putting this conclusion into practice, we use this language, which I use this language, somebody else may not use it. When you come to the conclusion, go back to your senses and ask your senses, are you happy with this conclusion? Does it contradict your human side? For example, I said, when I die, I will disappear from existence. Yeah? Although I have no evidence. But if I say to myself, logically, let's think about it, a logical assumption. What happens? My feelings automatically react. I shouldn't disappear from existence. Right. I shouldn't disappear from my existence is not. It is a desire. It is not a logical conclusion alone. Not at all. Mostly influenced by feelings. Because not influenced, sorry, it was wrong. Mostly in the area of feelings, I feel I get disappointed with this conclusion. I become sad. I lose my happiness right now because I am going to disappear from existence. Right? Oh, there is a turbulence there. Now, accordingly, logic starts questioning. Now, let's talk to. I think Shakur understands better now because he loves prohibited one like Adam. There are trillions, quadrillions of trees goes to one tree because he was asked not to approach it. That's it. So the same. You are Adam, really. In the example of the Quran, you are Adam. So Quran is talking about you. So you question, is it really true? Yeah, look how they work together. Is it really true? If not necessarily that I proved that when I die, my existence disappears. It's not proven yet. When I die, my existence doesn't disappear. It's not proven either, logically. In both cases, my feelings say, if I disappear from existence, I don't want it. I want to go ahead with my life at the highest pleasure level, enjoy it. But it is bad that we are getting old. Who loves to get ill and then suffer, for example? Now, so we have to question, you don't like it, so let's argue. Is it really meaningful to die? Is it really meaningful? Now, going to the consulting the logic now, to go into non-existence? Is it possible? Can you find any signs? So look together with. So we cannot say that. For example, we accept it, or some people say this actually. Some people accept that when they die, they won't disappear from existence because that's why they wish. No logical conclusion, no logical confirmation. That's what they say. No, this feeling needs to be confirmed by logic. If it is that, for example, I don't want to be ill, right? So it doesn't mean that I'm not going to be ill at all, sick at all. No, but I don't want it. That's my feeling. But what I experience in this world, I get sick from time to time. I say, logic and feelings together say, although we don't want it, but we are subject to it. Why? Look, working together to me. But the final conclusion, my experience, personal experience, is the finalized, which one's finalized? Finalized conclusion is confirmed, stamped, that's it, by feelings. I love it. As if saying that, telling to logic, saying that you concluded the best one, which fits me. But usually they process together. Final signature is put on it by feelings. That's why in Islamic tradition, belief is confirmed in feelings, which is represented with the word qalb, or the heart. Right? So the final destination of conclusion takes place in feelings, but this is the final destination, is feelings. But if you are not logically convinced, can this final final decision happen and occur in the heart, in the feelings? No. Feelings are always, you concluded this, but it doesn't seem to be right. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be right. No, but it goes against my expectations, right? Don't you feel that?
Yeah.
That's how we are. So that was side subject, but we have to know that no human being can act only with feelings, only with a heart, with mind. But some people say, look, for example, I have to be spiritual, right? And Christianity heavily, and recently Muslims, not recently, lately, late period of Islamic culture, lately they discussed that, or they brought the subject to this level, that belief takes place, the final destination is heart, takes place in heart. So belief is a matter of heart. It means feelings alone. But I read many Sufi tradition literature, they say, unless you give up questioning, you cannot have fully convinced belief. That's clearly they write it. I mean, not the simple people, the founding fathers of the tradition, Sufi tradition, in Islamic, and also in Eastern culture. I haven't read them, but they are very much interacting with each other. So there must be the same. I don't see any Hindu or Buddhist saying that belief is only, must be convinced by logic.
One question is just when you were speaking, are you using a difference between feelings and senses, or are they?
No, the same thing,
They're
same
the
thing,
same.
same thing.
And then,
All senses.
okay. And then secondly, can we say feelings are something that's always kind of running in the background?
Yes.
And while I consciously use my logic to understand something, I'm always
interacting
with my feelings, whether
working
or not
together,
I'm aware of it.
As this friend said, they
Corresponding
alongside
or aligning, yeah.
aligning, yes.
Having said that, there are certain moments when I bring my feelings to the forefront, as in I consciously also check with my logic if they align too. It's always running in the.
So no, I don't have much time, but you don't bring the feelings to the forefront. It automatically it's there, but you may avoid using your ability to reason or not. But you may leave your feelings in suspension without it, if it is not confirmed by logical activity. So you can run away from your logical questioning, but I don't think, from my personal experience, I don't think I can run away from my emotions. But that is the choice. There is a difference there. So somebody may say, I'm not going to use my reasoning, right? Whatever I am told, I am going to do it, whether it is bad or good, but but there is something behind it because I'm lazy, I don't want to work on it logically. That's their choice. That's their choice. But no one can say that I am going to use my logic but ignore feelings. It's impossible. It cannot happen. But why? Because logic works together with the feelings and they must justify each other in order to reach the full satisfaction. Human satisfaction.
Is it represented with the word philosophers? Philosophy that they just
No. Don't use technical words. The philosophy is a value-laden language. So, because what do you mean by philosophy? There are some people think that reasoning is philosophy. No. It is meaningless. So we have to define it and then talk. For example, what is the most obvious mistake that the people make, regardless of the tradition they follow? Now be careful here. Just right moment, we have to stop. Is they talk about science. It is nonsense. Without defining what science you mean. What do you mean by? You should never talk about it. Define it and be careful about this matter, which is troubling many people. Define it and within the definition, analyze it that you make. Within the definition that you made, analyze whether you agree with it, you don't agree with it. Without definition, words like science, words like philosophy, words like politics, words like social life, words like religion, words like hereafter, words like resurrection. What are you talking about? Do you understand? Unfortunately, but I see people lose or waste their time talking about, for example, do you believe in destination? What do you mean by destination? Are you talking about then travel planning, or what are you talking about? Divine destination. What is divine destination? What is divine? What is destination? What is divine destination? Without defining any concept, never waste your time even spending one word. Forget about it. Come with your definition. First, let's agree on definition or not. That's what we should know what we are talking about. Otherwise, any value-laden vocabulary cannot be discussed. For example, if I say table, you know that Ma'idah. In Arabic, table doesn't mean the table in English. Table in English, which has 4 legs and a flat. No, in Arabic, table means food table, for example, dinner table. Anywhere where even on the earth, nothing to do with 4 legs, served. But can you say in English, table with no legs serves on the ground? You use on the ground, not table. For example, we have to be careful. This kind of, even the word table needs to be defined. So let's stop here. To me, I think we arrived to comparison, right? Why comparison? But we have to study Mark of Islam as well together with it. If someone reminds me, next Saturday I will be away, so not out of state, unfortunately. Inshallah, I try run back to reach Monday class. So, inshallah, the rest, as long as I am alive, I am here. Yeah, I will announce it. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Bi hurmati surati al-Fatiha.